Welcome to your weekly Soul Tribe Live. It's Power Coach Alicia here, and we are continuing on with our Ignite Your Life series. And today we're talking about releasing the pressure. We're talking about the pressure you put on yourself, the pressure that other people put on you, and also the pressure of situations, circumstances, and things. If you want to make sure that you never miss a weekly live that we do, which is usually Wednesdays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, make sure that you get on our text list by texting the word soul to the number 74121. We would love to have you on our text list, be able to remind you of when we're going live here in Soul Tribe. Every single month we have a different theme, and every single week we have a different topic around that theme to really help you heal your soul and put yourself first without feeling guilty. Also, we have our new moon ceremony coming up. The new moon is on January 21st. So we do have our new moon ceremony coming up where we're going to be teaching you how to, excuse me, manifest what you want, right? Get clear on what it is that you really want and how to do that. So if you would like some help with that, the new moon ceremony, it's only $11. It's amazing. I have been working with the new moon and the full moon for maybe a year and a half now, I guess. And in that effort and working with that energy, it's really made such a huge difference for me in my life and finding my soul center and maintaining my soul center. So like I said, I highly recommend it. All you need to do is type new in the comments for the new moon ceremony. And then also coming up on January 25th is our Ignite workshop. And this workshop is all about unlocking your inner power and trusting your intuition. This workshop is 100% free. So if you would like the link to get signed up for that, all you need to do is shout out the word Ignite in the comments. We'll get you the link. You can get signed up for that workshop. It is going to be unbelievable. I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait. And also, as we step into this new year and this kind of energy that we've got going on, coming off of the full moon, Mercury retrograde, and doing our best not to lose our shit and like destroy every relationship we have, I would be happy to do a free angel card reading for you to give you some guidance and also teach you how to apply that angel card reading to your life. If you would like the link for that, all you need to do is type angel in the comments. So send that reminder text by texting the word soul to the number 74121. Join us for the next new moon ceremony that's coming up. I guess that would be next week by typing new in the comments. Like I said, it's only $11. And if you're ready to unlock your inner power and trust your intuition, you definitely want to get signed up for the free Ignite workshop by typing the word Ignite in the comments, and we will get you that link. So during the session today, you are going to learn how to release the pressure that other people put on you, the pressure you put on yourself, and the pressure that you didn't actually realize was there. And, I can't make this stuff up because I literally create these topics myself, decide what I'm going to talk about, do the outline for the topic. And then I swear to you that my life matches exactly the information that I'm teaching as the reminder to myself to do this work that I'm teaching you, right? So obviously I've done this work in the past. That's why I have the content for you, is because I've learned how to release the pressure for myself. However, your personal development journey is always evolving, right? You're always learning and growing, because if you're not, you're dying, like Tony Robbins says. And so there's a lot of times where you are being reminded of the things that you've already worked through, the effort that you've already made, and the shift that you still need to make, or that you need to make again because you've gotten complacent and lackadaisical and stopped paying attention, right? And you kind of land back in that default mode. And so today we're really talking about that default mode of the pressure, right? That's there. So for whatever reason, I can't see what you guys are writing, but hello to Sharon and hi to Morgan. I'm so glad you guys are here. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is releasing the pressure on you. Now, if you don't know who I am Power Coach Alicia, and I specialize in helping women put themselves first without feeling guilty and healing their soul. And I do that by teaching you my daily power up, how to literally harmonize your life so that you have more time, how to really get to that soul place within you to do the hard work and make the effort that it takes to really shift from the maybe darkness or disconnection that you're feeling to that peak personal power in your life. So as we talk about the pressure that you put on you, this is a really common thing for a lot of women that I work with, right? So the number one area of pressure that I see is the pressure that you put on yourself, right? The expectations you have, how you feel like you should show up, what you feel like you should do, how you feel like you should do it, exactly how that should look. And if it doesn't go in that way, then you're frustrated, you're beating yourself up, you're feeling guilty, you're inadequate, you're not good enough, right? And so there's all of these feelings that come along with that, and it really boils down to the pressure you put on yourself. Now, this energy and how you're working with yourself can definitely come from a time in your life where you were taught that that's how you should operate. And in that moment, you decided to buy into that as a truth for you and operate from that space going forward from there, right? So generally, it's a learned behavior to put this kind of pressure on yourself and these unfair expectations, right? And I talk about it, I explain it like you're wearing a superwoman cape, and this bitch is long as fuck, right? It's like, I don't know. I don't know my lengths, but we'll say a driveway long, right? You've got this driveway long of a cape, and you're feeling all this pressure and you're feeling all this overwhelm and you're feeling all this frustration. And this bitch is rolled out, and you've got people all around you. So what's happening is they're stepping on this cape, and it's like, right? And you're just being pulled backwards, and you're being called upon. And so you've got some people who are stepping on it and it's pulling you backwards. You have people who are all around you, just like almost like touching you and wanting something from you. They're pulling your energy from you. They want your efforts to do something for them. And it's just like this inundation. Another way to think of this is like, if you are somebody who is really well known and you're going through, let's say, a big court battle or something crazy, think of it like a million reporters around you and just talking to you, and they want information from you and they want you to reply, and all of these things going on. And you're just feeling overstimulated, feeling like it's too much. There's just so much pressure, right? That's what I'm talking about in the energy. Now that was probably a better example for the pressure other people put on you. But with the Superwoman cape example, you're the one that has that rolled out, right? You're the one that is allowing all the people to be there who want from you, while you also have these unfair expectations of yourself, right? So we are on what others put on you. I thought this was on yourself. I need sleeping to start this fucking day over. Okay. So good. My examples are perfect then. We'll talk about the unfair expectations you put on yourself in just a second. I was like, why did I use two examples that were other people, but we're talking about yourself? Oh my God, it's going to be a long day. So they're putting these pressures on you though, because you're giving them the space to do that. Let me just be clear with that, right? You're giving them the space to do that because you have a driveway long cape that all these people can stand on and demand from you and be in this space of yours that they shouldn't be in. And so one of the things that we're going to be talking about in the upcoming Ignite workshop and working you through and teaching you how to do is how to roll up that cape first and foremost, like shorten it step by step by step. Then we have it rolled up, and it's there. It's on your back like a security blanket, but it isn't unrolled. And then how to remove that cape. And so it's these layers of working through this that the Ignite workshop starts, right? And then from there, you would step into my Fuck Yes and Flow program that is all about, if it's not a fuck yes and flow, it's a hell no. And learning how to operate in that action instead of forcing yourself forward when you know that this is not what you want to do. It doesn't feel good and it's unaligned. And then from there, it's into my Ignite Your Soul, where we just do all of the phenomenal work. And let me just tell you, last night's session was unfreaking believable. I loved it so much. So releasing the pressures that other people put on you are also in direct correlation to the pressure that you put on yourself, right? Because the big thing to remember is no one can do to you or put on you what you don't do or put on yourself, right? And that you don't allow them to, that you don't give that space for. And so it is all your operation, your effort, and what you're doing that is creating that environment. And a lot of times you think it's coming from them, right? It's an outside in and they're doing that. But the truth is it's not. It's you that's creating that space, that energy, that openness, and all of that that allows that to come in. So your next step from here is 100% absolutely, if this is resonating at all with you, is to get registered for my Ignite workshop so that you can learn how to unlock your inner power and trust your inner intuition to make decisions and to step forward while removing people, circumstances, and things from your life that no longer serve you. If you'd like the link for that free workshop, like I said, it's going down on January 25th. If you guys have been in my world for a minute, you might have seen that it was on the 18th, but we moved it by a week. So January 25th is the workshop. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be unbelievable. Just shout out the word Ignite in the comments and we'll get you the link for that to sign up. If you're ready to set some strong, powerful intentions for the next 30 days in your life, and you want to harness the power of the new moon to do that, I highly recommend that you sign up for our new moon ceremony that's coming up next week. It's only $11, and we're teaching you the rituals and the steps to take to harness the energy, the power of the new moon to manifest what it is that you want in the next 30 days. All right. So all you need to do is type the word new in the comments. And then to make sure that you never miss out on a live workshop that we do, a soul camp, anything like that, make sure you text the word soul to the number 74121 in order to get on our text list. And if you want some guidance from your angels, like what steps do I need to take? What do I need to be doing right now? What kind of message do you have for me? Or maybe you have a specific question for your angels that you want to ask. I would love to do a free like mini angel card reading for you and just share with you the messages from your angels and teach you how to apply that angel card reading to your life. And then towards the end of that session, if I feel like my Ignite Your Soul or my Fuck Yes and Flow program is a good fit for you, we'll talk about it at that time and get you started from there. So just shout out Angel in the comments. And again, we'll get you the link for that. Let's talk about the pressure that you put on yourself. So we already kind of stepped into this a little bit with those unfair expectations and where those came from and childhood and that sort of thing. Oh, wait, before we do that, what was something that connected with you on the pressures that others put on you? I want you to shout that out in the comments. What was something that you heard on the pressures that others put on you that you're like, you know what, that's me. I really connect with that. I can see how that, that could be. I want to just kind of hear what your takeaway was from the pressure that others put on you. So let's hear that. Shout it out in the comments. Even if you're on replay, I'd love to hear what you took away from that. Yeah, that's powerful, Morgan. She says, visualizing the long cape, right? I love this visualization because it's an easy way to go, oh, well, that's why. That's why I'm being pulled in a direction that I actually didn't want to go in. That's why I'm feeling heavy and pressured and everybody wants my attention, right? Like, yeah. Because I have this fucking cape out that's, a million miles long that anybody can step on, right? And if you have a cape that's the length of a driveway and you're walking through Walmart and you're out in public and you're doing those things, you've got strangers stepping on this son of a bitch too, right? So that's even more crazy. It doesn't have to just be people who are close to you in your life, right? It could be people that don't even know you. One of the reasons why I don't like grocery shopping and going in public, because of the energies that you pick up of other people and how frustrating that is and how hard it is to release that energy. But there are things that you can do to protect yourself before you go into public. I just choose to stay away from people and have my groceries delivered. Actually, everything delivered at this rate. All right, so let's now move into releasing the pressure that you put on yourself as I make a mess here on my desk. Okay, so let's look at this. We talked a little bit about where did this pressure come from, right? Or where did this learned behavior actually come from? Because it's not first where the pressure came from, it's first where the learned behavior come from. At what point in your life did something happen where now you have this learned behavior that you have these high expectations, and if you don't live up to them, then you failed here and you failed there. Like somebody taught you that, or somebody put that on you and you bought into that as your truth, right? So the very first thing that you do when you've got when you're wanting to release the pressure that you put on yourself, is ask yourself, where did this behavior come from? When did I actually start doing this, right? And then from there, you do the work to start clearing that out and create a new behavior, create a new habit for yourself. And we'll do a lot of that work we'll pave a lot of that way in the Ignite workshop, right? We've got the cheat sheet for it. We're going to be walking you through that. Like, what are those first steps in diving deep and releasing those pressures that you put on yourself once you figure out where they come from? So if you want that help with that and how to unlock that inner power and trust your intuition, make sure that you shout out Ignite in the comments for those of you guys that are just joining us. So first and foremost, though, right now, one thing that I want you to take away from that you can actually do on releasing the pressure that you put on yourself is ask, why do I have that level of pressure around that specific thing? Just ask yourself a quality question, right? Let's say it's to be a great mom. But your definition of a great mom is perfection. You wake up, you cook them dinner, you're always there for them. They come first. Your needs come last. They always know that at any moment, any time, at a drop of a hat, like you're going to drop everything for whatever they need, even if it's just to, I don't know, open a bottle on a water, or open a lid on a water bottle, or you're like, oh, I got to clean their room and put that back together, and organizing and blah, 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 right? Just having this high level of pressure. Why? They'll be fine with cereal or a fucking Pop-Tart, right? But why is it that you have to make breakfast? Where did that come from? Why is that pressure? Why do you have that expectation? Like, there's like millions of children that survive at a very low level of that, but they have a high level of love, a great life, happiness. Why is your child's life and happiness defined on whether or not you make fucking breakfast in the morning, right? And this is just an example. So that may not be the example that resonates with you. What is it that it feels like for you? So I think that this is a good point. Morgan says, well, that's what was done for me. Did it really make that much of a difference in how you showed up and performed in life? Did it stop you from the heartache and the turmoil that life is going to bring you? Was that what actually made you feel loved, or was it the time, the quality time that was took? Was that what actually made you feel cared for, or was it something else that somebody did? Because and this is, again, just an example with the breakfast and the food thing. Like, what if you're so busy doing all the time for your child or children that you're actually not emotionally available? What if you're actually not there and showing up because you're so busy in these other acts of service to prove to yourself that you're loving and giving the way that you should, because that's what you were shown? What if that's not even how your kid feels love? Should check out the 5 Love Languages of Kids, or maybe it's teenagers, but I think it's kids, by Gary Chapman, and how to really find that out, and really, as a parent, to give that love in their language. Like, you should really check that out. Everybody should, that's listening to this, if this is resonating with you. Maybe it's the pressure that you put on yourself. Like, I am still working through that. It depends on, the day, the energy, the time, and the mood, right? Mine is the pressure that I put on myself to provide a living for my family at all costs, at whatever I have to sacrifice, whatever that means, the effort that I need to make. I mean, I've done a hell of a lot better now. Like, yes, provide the living, but I'm so much better about, whatever happens, happens. It's the end of the day. I'm tapped out. I'm not pushing through this mark that I know is my mark, that I know is my point of I need a break, right? That's another thing to consider. The pressure you put on yourself also comes from that mark when you know that you should be stepping back and taking a beat, but you push yourself through it and push forward because you feel like you must, you should, you have to, right? That's another pressure. Yes. The 5 Love Languages of Children by Gary Chapman and Ross Campbell. It's a beautiful book. It's turquoise. I love it. I would get it and hold it up for you, but I don't know where the hell it is right now. Love this book, though. So What I want to ask you right now on releasing the pressure that you put on yourself is, what is one way that you put you set, or no, let me rewind. What's an unfair expectation that you have of yourself that you want to release? Let me ask it that way. I want you to shout that out in the comments. Okay. What's an unfair expectation you put on yourself that you want to release? Okay. Shout that out. Let me know. And if you want help doing some of this work, laying the foundation for this work, I highly recommend that you shout out Ignite in the comments and you get registered for my free Ignite workshop. I promise you, if you wait to register for this workshop, it is going to be paid. Its regular price is $111. So I don't recommend that you wait to get signed up, because you can get into the free, you can watch the replay, you can upgrade for lifetime access and the VIP experience if you want to. It's a phenomenal workshop. I'm really excited to do the work with you and help lay that foundation for you. So Morgan says, not a good mom because I don't see and talk to my girls, right? I think this is a big one, right? So this is a pressure you put on yourself. Like, I need to be a good mom. In order to be a good mom, I need to be there. I need to see them. I need to talk to them. But there's an environment that is outside of your circle of control. There's somebody else who's involved in this, who is creating an energy that stops you from being able to do that at the easy, simple, smooth capacity. So one thing you have to ask yourself is, am I doing everything that I possibly can to make this happen? Am I doing my absolute best to see and talk to them? Or am I doing what I feel like I can do right now that is just got, this is just the effort that I can make, right? That's a big question to ask yourself. Am I doing all of that I can? Or am I just almost doing the bare minimum? What a great point here. And then completely forgetting that I have 2 other children who I am there for in every possible way. So let's be clear, she's not forgetting that she has the children. She's not giving herself the credit that she's there for them. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have wore these earrings that get caught in my hair. She's there for it every other way, but that doesn't matter because I'm not good enough over here. So release the pressure on the one side, right? And be proud of yourself on what you are doing, the effort you are making, how you are showing up, right? And let me help you do that. So type the word Ignite if you want. Hey, welcome in. If you guys are just joining us, type the word Ignite if you would like to get in on this free workshop all about unlocking your inner power and trusting your intuition. It's going to be amazing training. You're going to absolutely love it. Like, that's your next step from here, is signing up for the Ignite workshop. So if there's nothing else you take from this session, it's this, because this is where, like I said, you're going to lay that foundation and start doing the work. So next is releasing the pressure that you don't even realize. And generally, this is the pressure that you put on other people, right? These expectations that you have of them, what you think they should and should not be doing, how you think they should and should not be showing up. And I do think that there is a level of, I think there's a level where it's okay, right, to have them. But then there's a level of where it's so much pressure that it's unfair. Like, there's a point where you are being fair, you're understanding where the person's coming from, you're understanding why. And then there's the side where it's like, wait, what the fuck? Like, you really should be, because there's this void, there's this gap, right? There's this space where you really should be doing more if you care the way you say you do. If you want this the way that you say that you want it, if you want this result, you want this, right? And so be looking for other pressures that are happening in your life, and generally that you're putting on other people, or maybe their circumstances, their things, their environments, right? So this is the pressure you're putting on that you don't even realize. So I want to ask you, what is one thing that you feel like, if you had to guess, where's one thing that you feel like you're putting pressure that you didn't realize until I brought this up? Is there someone you're putting pressure on that is not fair? Are you giving someone too much freedom where you actually do need to put on pressure? It is about releasing that pressure. But maybe in this area, we go back to yourself. Maybe you're putting the pressure on yourself to perform and show up, but you really should be putting the pressure on them and releasing it from you. Or maybe you're putting so much pressure on them, and maybe you should be releasing it from them and Sorry, I said that backwards. Releasing it from you and putting it on them, or maybe you need to be releasing it from them and putting it on you. So where's the pressure you don't even realize? Think about somewhere in your life where you can take that and bring it to the forefront. I need to drink this before it becomes gooey. All right. I am not on schedule today, so thank you guys for being here and dealing with my craziness. Ooh, Morgan, I'm so glad you came to my TED Talk today. Putting so much pressure on my husband, but not holding myself accountable to those same standards. So first and foremost, the thing that I want to talk about with this is, yes, you should be holding yourself to the same standards or higher, 100%. But one thing I think people get distorted in relationships is that if they hold themselves to the same standards and they make that effort, that person will come along. Please don't get distorted that if you release the pressure there and you put it on yourself in the right areas of where you need to raise the fuck up, that's actually going to change their actions. I would say most of the time it does not, because what you do and don't do, even though I think there's a lot in personal development that says if you just operate this way, if you tell somebody every day how grateful you are for them and then eventually you're going to see that person shift and start reciprocating. I think that's true. You're going to see their energy shift, right? But when it comes to action, that's completely fucking different. You can be in action. You can be showing up. You can say you're grateful for them for the things that they do or that they are doing. But that doesn't mean that they're going to step up and do more and do better and grow. So make sure that when you are putting the pressure on yourself in the right areas, right? Because we're releasing the negative pressure and we're turning on the pressure that it needs, that needs to be in each of these areas. Yeah, other people are going to put some pressure on you in good areas that you need to grow. And then you're going to release the pressure that they're putting on you that isn't yours to own. You're going to put some pressure on yourself in the areas that you need to grow for yourself. And you're going to release the pressure that's unfair expectations, right? So be very mindful that when you're stepping in and putting the good pressure on yourself, that may not change anything that the other person does. Okay? So you don't want to step into that for that reason. You want to step into that for your own reason. Not saying you are, but just giving you that bit of advice, right? So you want to think about now from there when you come up with, where am I putting pressure on other people that is an unfair pressure, right? And then you say, okay, well, what's one action that I'm going to take to shift that? So for you, Morgan, it's like, okay, well, what's a standard that I need to start holding myself to every fucking day that I was putting pressure on him for? And it's a standard you're going to hold yourself to no matter what happens on the other side, because you're doing it for you, because it's good for you, right? So you ask yourself that, you answer that, and you take that action. Just like, everybody else, you do the exact same thing. So release the pressures that are put on you that you didn't want, that you took on as your own, that weren't your burden, that weren't your truth. But make sure that if there is pressure that others are putting on you, that's the healthy, good pressure, that you look at that and go, yeah, I'm really dropping the ball there. I really resonate with that. And that is a truth for me. And I want to do better with that, right? Release the pressure that you put on yourself, these unfair, crazy fucking expectations that cause so much stress and overwhelm, the inadequacy, the guilt, and all of those things. And put the pressure on yourself in the ways that actually do make you a better person, mom, wife, friend, right? Put your pressure on in that place. Because yes, there's good and bad pressure, but we got to release the negative bullshit that isn't getting you anywhere and then step into the positivity that's really going to help you grow. And then lastly, release the pressure that you don't even realize that you're putting on other people. The negatives, the bad, those unfair expectations you're putting on other people, and put the pressure on in the good areas for them. But also realize, if I'm going to put these pressures on, like Morgan says, in these good areas on other people, am I holding myself to those same standards? That's where you go back to the pressure you put on yourself, the good and bad there. So again, if you are not on our text list, make sure you text the word soul to the number 74121. We have a new moon ceremony coming up next week. You can manifest, attract, and have whatever you want in your life, like that be, do, have energy. We're going to teach you some rituals and some things that you can do to really harness the power of the new moon to manifest what you want. Then again, we've got the Ignite workshop coming up on January 25th, how to unlock your inner power and trust your intuition. It is free right now, but it will become paid. So if you want to get in this workshop before it comes paid, type Ignite. You want that new moon ceremony link, type new. If you would like me to give you a mini free angel card reading, teach you how to apply that to your life, please type the word angel in the comments. As we wrap up today's session, as I always say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. Give yourself some grace. And remember that it's always about progress, not perfection. We will see you next week as we continue on with our Ignite series, where we're going to talk about how to stop your internal battle. We'll see you next week. Bye.